Look, I think the thing that gets me with Moonee Valley, where all the action is this weekend, is look, it's one of those tracks that's very peculiar. It's got its characteristics. It's a pretty much a circular track, very small, straight. Only about 160 metres. There's all these chats. I mean, there used to be the camber that a lot of people spoke about. Maybe it's changed a bit. Is it a leaders track? So one of the toughest tracks. Look, in my personal opinion, one of the toughest tracks to get it right on. You're doing it. Can you give us a bit of a view on what how you see some of these characteristics, and I guess how you consider them when you do the format?
Yeah, probably with Moonee Valley for starters, the circumference of the track is not great, so I think it's really important to try and get a visual of where they'll be. Say at the 400 metre mark, are they going to be tucked back inside them with traffic all over them? Are they going to be fifth, blending into the race beautifully? Are they going to get a nice run outside leader? So I think you call them speed maps, race shape, call them whatever you want. I think it's absolutely vital to try and get that picture right at Moonee Valley, and then combine that with the rail positions. Out 7, I'd rather be leaders back or outside leader or leader than the horses back and coming wide have just got no hope. So I think pretty important to try and get your race shape right at the Valley as a starting point for a form reference for a race.
So Mike, just in that, you mentioned rail positions. So clearly rails out, the more rails out, the tighter it is. So the back markers have got less opportunity to come home.
Yeah, for sure. Like as a rule, you do get changes. You'll have one meeting where it changes, but as a rule, rail 4 out, 5 out, 7 out. I'm working on leaders. It used to be at Moonee Valley Rail True, you could always run on. It was a beautiful run-on track. That's changed as well. If the track firms up, you can get leaders tracks. I think you've just got to try and think on your feet and, reference previous rail positions. Was it wet when it was out 4? Now it's back true. You think it's going to be fresh ground, that sort of stuff. And, just try and factor everything in together. Like you get the All-Star Mile Day where you get that track where you couldn't really pass a horse. You've only got 2 lanes. So horses that were favourite or in the betting have virtually got no hope, whereas a horse like Scorched Earth or Grand Slam, you've just got to promote them so much on that day.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's some great insights there, Mark. So, I mean, just to clear a couple of things up you said there, obviously that camber, not as significant anymore, and that's obviously since they sort of redid the track there, I'd imagine, at Moonee Valley, that's probably not playing as significant. And then the leader bias tends to be more relevant when the rail's out, and obviously that means a tighter track, harder for back markers to come home.
Yeah, rail out for sure, but also firmer track. You get some quite firm tracks at the Valley these days. The track's completely changed over the last few years. Again, looking forward to Saturday, you've got Friday night Rail True. The forecast is, who knows what the forecast is, but at the moment it's for rain Friday night. So you can just imagine wear and tear on that track Friday night. Come Saturday, you can't think it's any bonus whatsoever to be down on the rail. So in those sprint races that you referenced, a horse that's going to be 5th inside, 6th inside, realistically should be in a horrible spot. And whereas the horse that's going to be 6th, 7th, 8th, blending in 3, 4 wide, it's the one you're going to be looking for in those 1,200 metre races.
Oh, geez, look, this is gold for the punters thinking about their speed maps for the big day on Saturday, Mark. And look, I like what I'm hearing there, where you're really considering what happens on Friday, rain, wear and tear on the track, where the rails are. Hey, look, I think punters are getting more than that bargain for in this chat, mate. So thank you very much for that.
I mean,
hey,
people often talk about the Valley. A lot of punters that we hear, at least, it's not their favourite track for various reasons, being a circular track and so forth. What's your view on the Valley, Tony?
I think it's a fantastic track. It's you very rarely see. All right, let's talk about the Cox Plate. The best horse almost always wins because the tempo comes on even 800 metres out. We all know the Bone Crusher, our Waverley Star race. Again, that gets back to that situation I mentioned with the Everest. If you have that pace on a long way from home, it sorts the men out from the boys. It's a fantastic track. They can sit up, of course. It can be difficult when that occurs, but by and large, if you don't get cracking at the 600 metres on it, at Moonee Valley, you won't be there at the finish.